right. Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Let's get into it.
We're all about the Spurs today.
Okay.
Some pretty exciting news coming out about James Maddison.
Okay.
Star player, of course. And we're dissecting this piece from the Express.
All right.
And let me tell you, it's not just any boring match report.
Oh.
This is about goal celebrations, yellow cards, and wait for it, a little bit of family drama.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my interest. Let's dive in.
So picture this, Maddison comes off the bench,
Okay.
delivers a stunning free kick against Aston Villa,
All right.
secures a smashing 4-1 victory. Landmark moment for Matters as well, because it marks his 50th Premier League goal.
Wow. And that's even more impressive when you consider the context of those goals. 43 were scored during his time at Leicester.
Right.
And now he's bagged 7 for us at Tottenham. He's clearly finding his footing and becoming a force to be reckoned with in our squad.
Absolutely, but here's where things take an interesting turn. Apparently, Maddison has been banned from celebrating with his signature shirt removal.
Banned. Now, who would want to deprive us of that glorious sight? What's the story here?
You won't believe this. It's his mom.
His mom? Seriously, that's a twist I didn't see coming.
It seems Mrs. Maddison is a serious fantasy Premier League enthusiast.
Oh, no.
And of course has her son on her team.
Okay.
That yellow card he received for the shirt removal against Villa cost her a valuable point.
Oh, I bet she wasn't too happy about that.
Right. And this isn't even the first time this has happened either. After he scored against Brentford back in September and whipped off his shirt, she sent him a text message, basically pleading with him to keep his shirt on from now on.
That's hilarious. You know, this is what I love about football. The passion extends far beyond the pitch and into our personal lives.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine being a mom, ecstatic about your son scoring a crucial goal, but simultaneously devastated about losing a fantasy point.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
You got to appreciate the humor in that situation. Speaking of the goal itself, did you see that free kick?
Oh, yeah.
Pure magic, almost Beckham-esque.
Yeah.
Maddison even mentioned in an interview that he's been diligently practicing his free kicks, trying to catch the goalkeeper off guard.
What's fascinating is that Maddison revealed last season was the first in his entire career where he didn't score a direct free kick. This tells us he's not just relying on natural talent, he's dedicated to refining his skills and pushing himself further. Really highlights that dedication and work ethic behind those moments of brilliance that we see on the pitch. It's not just luck, it's years of honing his craft.
Exactly. And speaking of dedication, let's talk about this celebration ban. Do you think Maddison will actually heed his mom's wishes and keep his shirt on from now on?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It puts him in a tricky spot.
Yeah.
On one hand, he clearly respects his mom and doesn't want to disappoint her. He even apologized to her in a post-match interview. But on the other hand, there's that primal instinct to celebrate those euphoric moments. And for Maddison, that often involves a shirt removal.
It's that pure, unadulterated joy of scoring a goal, hard to contain sometimes.
Yeah.
And honestly, for us fans, those passionate celebrations add to the excitement.
Absolutely. They create a real connection between the players and the supporters. And let's be honest, a little bit of controversy never hurts.
True. It's all part of the drama that keeps us on the edge of our seats. But this situation with Maddison's mom brings up an interesting point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It highlights how deeply football is interwoven with our lives, impacting everything from family dynamics to, well, fantasy football leagues.
It's a fantastic illustration of how the sport transcends the boundaries of the pitch. I mean, we all know people who are completely obsessed with their fantasy teams, checking scores, making transfers, agonizing over every point. And in this case, it's even affecting how players celebrate.
I'd wager there are a lot of mums out there who would make the same call as Mrs. Maddison. Fantasy points are serious business. Imagine the scenes at the Maddison household after that match. Maddison walks in, buzzing from the win and his spectacular goal, and there's his mum beaming with pride, but also giving him that look. You know, the one...
Oh, I can picture it perfectly.
Oh?
The inner conflict between a mother's pride and a fantasy manager's disappointment. It's a unique kind of dilemma, and it's what makes this whole story so relatable and entertaining.
Just goes to show that even world-class footballers are still someone's son dealing with the same family dynamics as the rest of us.
Exactly. Brings them down to earth, reminds us that they're human with families and personal lives that sometimes intertwine with their professional careers in amusing ways.
Speaking of amusing, where do you think this leaves Maddison going forward? Do you see him toning down the celebrations to keep his mom happy and those fantasy points rolling in?
That's a tough call.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks he might try to find a compromise. Maybe a new signature celebration that doesn't involve a yellow card.
Perhaps a little dance move.
Yeah.
Or a thumbs up to the camera for mom.
Exactly. Something that lets him express his joy without jeopardizing those precious fantasy points.
But then again, there's that undeniable thrill of ripping off your shirt after a moment like that. Especially after a goal as magnificent as that free kick.
It's an instinctive release of pure adrenaline and exhilaration. Sometimes you just can't help yourself.
It's like a force of nature. You can't bottle it up.
Precisely. And, let's be real, a bit of controversy adds spice to the game.
True that. It's all part of the drama and the excitement.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Maddison does next time he finds the back of the net. Will he risk incurring his mom's wrath, or will he play it safe for those all-important fantasy points? It's a cliffhanger.
It certainly keeps us guessing. And it highlights that even in the high-stakes world of the Premier League, there's still room for a little bit of family fun and games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got a question for all of you listening out there. If you were in Maddison's shoes, would you prioritize keeping your mom happy and her fantasy team thriving? Or would you let loose and celebrate freely? Let us know your thoughts.
A great question to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, COIS.